Hey guys, what's going on? Steve aka Franks and Mags here, and I decided to make an Araxxor guide, so I hope you guys find this guide helpful, and yeah, let's get right into it. So, the first thing that I thought you guys would need is 80 plus range and 80 plus magic gear, overloads and protection prayers. Yeah, those are a must. Now, what I like to do is the range gear I have listed, use that range gear, use those weapons, and pretty much bring your best gear, bring your best rings, bring your best, your best gear. Don't go short on it. So now we have the best magic gear, and we have like Tectonic and Virtus and Knockstaff. Now using magic is harder to do, but it's doable. The last phase will be harder, and Araxxor will stand melee distance on a melee fight, so the cleaves are going to be harder to dodge. Keep that in mind. This is why I do a kill right here. Just a quick note before I go and I tell you where the boss is, even though it's kind of obvious where it is. I thought I'd just go through what I have and what you need to actually kill the boss. You need overloads, which is actually really recommended because I cannot do this boss without overloads. You want a prayer renewal. I use Peninsula along with super restores, and this pretty much, you don't use any prayer potions if you use this. So I find using the Peninsula really good. If you don't have that, just bring 2 super restores, an anti-poison flask for the last phase, and an adrenaline potion for the last phase. And let's go inside my pack big, since I don't have 96 summoning. This is what I have. Even though I don't have 96 summoning, I can still do it with what I have. So I thought I'd just show you guys that really quick. So yeah, now on to the next clip where I show you where the actual boss is. Okay, so after you get all those stats and the requirements meant to do this boss, what you want to do is get your active-file and teleport to the Ectofungus. Now there's a bank right here, so it's very convenient to bank here instead of banking over at Varrock or Profundus, if you have any of those unlocked. There is a level 90 shortcut right here that you can cross to get to it, and the boss is right here. But if you don't have that, you can just go right through here, along here, and right there. So it doesn't take very long, so I'll walk there so you guys can see how long of a walk it actually is. So yeah, I'm going to speed it up right here. So yeah, right there's a shortcut, and I'm just going to take the long way, because the long way is probably harder to get to it. So yeah. Alright, there you go guys, this is how you actually get to the actual boss. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go do a kill really quick with my range gear set up. I actually almost forgot my arrows. Okay guys, something I'd like to clarify before we start this boss is there is always going to be 3 paths. So 1 path, 2 path, and 3 path. And these paths, one of them will always be blocked. So right now, this one is blocked, which is the acid pool path. That means the darkness path is open, which is this one, and the minion path is open. If you're starting out, I recommend waiting till the minion path is closed off. Otherwise, you'll have to do minions at some point in the fight. So if you wait till this one's closed off, then path 2 and 3 are going to be open. And then I recommend to go 3 and then 2, which would probably be your easiest route. For path 1, you just gotta lead Araxxor past this point right here to start this path, and he will start putting out 20, or he'll put out a set of 5 minions for 4 times, so a total of 20 minions. If you're gonna do this route, and this is gonna be your first time, I really recommend killing the mirrorback ones and the pulsating ones first. Always kill the mirrorback ones and pulsating ones first, because the mirrorback ones will reflect damage you do against Araxxor back to you, and the pulsating ones will heal Araxxor. So it's very important you kill those right away. And don't freak out, even though it may seem like there's a lot of them, there really isn't. If you just kill them fast enough, don't worry about Araxxor. If you have to, lead Araxxor back out into the main area for the first phase while you're on that phase, and it'll make killing it a lot easier because it's more open. Now with path 2, you need to keep Araxxor in this pool of acid right here. You can stand in it, don't worry, it won't hurt you. And as long as you're standing in it, Araxxor will have a bar right around here. And once it gets to 100, you lead him up all the way into this bridge and let him drain. And once he fully drains, you can jump down and start up the third phase. And the darkness one, he will charge a countless number of times. You just need to use your arrow keys. When his arms are spread out, you got to use up on your arrow key. When they're put together, and yeah, when they're put together, you gotta go down. When it's to the left, you gotta go left, and when it's to the right, you gotta go right. So it's pretty easy to kind of just understand how to do that. Now, what happens on the third stage of this boss fight? There's 4 stages. The first stage is right here. Second stage is right here. The third, and then fourth. The third stage is since this week is path 1 and path 3 that is open. If I went to path 3 and did the darkness, over here I'm going to have minions instead of darkness. But if I did the minions first here, then I'll have darkness here. Okay? Makes sense. Now, it doesn't matter which side you choose for the final fight. It's just gonna there's not gonna be any minions, but there is gonna be darkness, and there's not gonna be any acid spiders. The acid spiders are one-hit kills. If you choose this route and end up over here, acid spiders will spawn, and those spiders can one-hit you. So I hope that made sense, because it made sense to me, but if you guys don't understand it, just go look up a text guide, and text guides have a lot more easier to follow information. This is going to be more like a gear and an actual fight. Like, people can't get that out of a text guide. Right, so on to the fight, guys. Here we go. Alright, guys, now we're going to go into the fight. I'm going to choose the third path. The second one is blocked. Now, something I like to do is I like to hit escape and get ready to lobby just in case it is not a kill. You see how it's blue right there? Blue is magic, and I have range, so it's weak to whatever I'm using. So that's good. Right off the bat, I like to use a thing that prevents me from being stunned. And if you get so much information I gotta tell you guys. So if it's blue, it's range. If it's green, it's range, and if it's red, it's magic. Or if it's red, it's melee. So that's something to keep important. Keep telling you guys. The magic phase, like what he's doing right now, magic attacks, lower my combat stats. The range ones poison you, and it has a lot of poison damage after a long time effect. And the melee one does bleeds on you, but you can just use freedom and anticipate to get rid of those bleeds. The only reason I like doing Araxxor on this phase right now is because he's weak to whatever I'm using, and plus my overloads cancel out whatever he's trying to do to me, so he's not going to lower my stats. They're always going to be high. What I did here is, near the start of the kill, you have to light the web on fire for which side you're going to choose. So since I'm doing this side, I lit that web on fire. And what he's doing right now is he just tried to stun me. You can't attack him when you're cocooned. So when you're cocooned, make sure that you are spam clicking out. Like you saw me spam click, other places except, near me. You can also spam click the actual spider himself, or Araxxor himself. But yeah, this is pretty much how much this is pretty much how you end up doing the first phase. It's not too complicated. You just you should probably end up using Death Swiftness twice. Death Swiftness really matters here, and I just misclicked on my pack pig. Oh well. So he's at 7,000 hit points. Get him down to around 5,000. There we go. And we'll start up the second phase. So just walk right in here. Remember, we are taking the third path. The third path is the easiest. Now, you're going to notice that you're getting blood. So it's not that bad. Don't worry. It doesn't get too extreme. He will, after a while, a tunnel of light will come. And you can just go right to the tunnel of light and stand in it. Another thing to worry about on the second and third phase is that he will spawn these little bombs. You gotta go stand right on them, and you have until that thing right there goes on it. So, just keep running at these things. And a little trick that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't is you can go right here and go back and forth like this, and the light will glitch, and the light will be on you forever. I'm gonna see if I can do it. Yeah, see, if I was standing in the right spot, I could have had that. But we're gonna try it again. And make sure whenever you see this thing up here, you go and you run onto the center one, It can be 2 or 3. If there's 3, you should get hit for 300. If there's 2, you should get hit for 1200. It's not that lot of a damage. Just eat for it and you should be fine. So right now I'm just trying to stay within the light. And yeah, staying within the light really helps. There we go. So otherwise you're going to get blood for 400s. But if you just move, like this. Oh, here we go. And it is up because he's spread out. So make sure you know that. You only got to do it twice if you know what you're doing and you get them both right. Otherwise, you got to do it like 3 times, sometimes 4, I've noticed. So just make sure you guys are watching out for that. If you guys are really concerned about the light being all the way over there and the bombs being like someplace else, always get the bombs done first, because if you miss the bombs, you'll get hit for 3,000. So make sure that you're just, not tanking the bombs. Otherwise, you're going to get hit and a whole bunch of minions are going to spawn. So just stay within the light, and if you do what I'm doing right now, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it can glitch and it'll be light when, it's not supposed to be light. Then you don't got to bother with these shadows. Alright, so we're going to stand right here, pot up, and we're going to wait for Araxxor. Also, if you guys want, you guys can do range and magic switches. This is actually a good time to tell you guys. So the acid one is magic. That's up again, just letting you guys know. The acid bomb that he shoots, his auto attack, that is a magic attack. And then the other one, which looks like a cocoon, is a melee attack. Now when he cocoons like this, when he cocoons himself, don't attack him. Otherwise you're going to do double damage to yourself. Sometimes I attack him if I'm going for a speed kill, but other than that, it's not worth it. And just try to count his attacks, because every 5 attacks he will use a special attack. That's what I've noticed. So we're going to count his attack right now. So 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack, 4 attack. We're going to use freedom, 5 attack, and oh, he's going to release minions. Okay, this is fine. So since path 1 was unlocked, he's going to release minions. Don't worry, it's not that bad. See, you just gotta shoot them. They're 2-hittable, and they go pretty fast. However, if you do manage to get swarmed, I almost got cleaved right there, which would not have been good. Oh, you got a pulsating one in back. Make sure you get that one right away. I didn't see it at first, but we're gonna take care of it. And, okay, the pulsating one's dead. Now, if you have a group of them near you, just use ricochet and use bombardment. They really do help. And I use them whenever I have a lot of them on me. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes they spawn faster than you'd think. So just make sure you're not auto-attacking like I am doing right now on accident. So yeah, path 3, path 1. Path 1 has minions on phase 2. And yeah, it's not that bad. You guys will understand what I'm talking about as soon as you guys do a kill. Alright, we got more minions. We got a bladed one in the back. Oh, mirror back. We got to kill the mirror back one right away. Always kill the mirror back one right away. Otherwise, any damage you do on a Araxxor from like ricochet and stuff, it's going to go right back to you. And it doesn't feel too good to get a ricochet right back at you. Alright, so we're just going to use some of our abilities on the minions. Got to kill them as fast as we can. And make sure before you kill a Araxxor, if there is minions, which is like the roughest time to do it, I recommend waiting until a week where he doesn't have minions. So wait until path 1 is blocked. If you guys really are anxious about getting a kill, just go and do it. I don't care. It's just going to be a lot harder with minions. I learned path 3 with phase 1 closed. So, or not phase 1, path 1. There's a difference between phase and path. So just make sure you guys know, what I'm talking about. So kill the pulsating one right away. Pulsating ones, and I'm about to get cleaved. Oh, my pack pig just died. I should probably pick up some of his stuff. My pack pig seems to die a lot. I used to use tortoise, but the pack pig, I thought it would be a better way to go. If your familiar does die, just go and start picking up its food. Doesn't really matter. Should take you just a couple seconds. And you're gonna need rocktail for the end of the fight, so I recommend getting the rocktail as soon as you can. Because you don't need a lot of rocktail, but if my pack pig doesn't die, I can normally do 2 or 3 trips. However, it did die on my first go, so it doesn't really matter. Just try to keep your head on straight and realize what you're doing. Just keep trying to use anticipate and freedom. Sometimes I fail to do that, but most of the time I don't. So we got another spawn of spiders, imbued, bladed. The imbued ones will use magic attacks, and that's why they're not hitting on me, because I have Sirenic. Just like the best gear to use here. If you get cleaved and pulled in, just start spam clicking out. It's not that hard to avoid them. A lot of people say it is hard, but as long as you don't stay melee distance and am not using melee gear, which I don't really recommend for this boss, as I said earlier, you can easily get out of the way, because it will pull you forward and then it will pull you back. So there we go. We have all the minions dead. So now we can start working on the kill finally. So we're gonna use our thresholds, and we're not gonna worry about the light. Standing within the light isn't that big of a deal here, but in the second phase it really is. So let's make sure you guys are doing DPS. If you guys want, drink an adrenaline potion like I just did. I almost have one of my adrenaline abilities ready. So just, wait for that. I'm going to go grab another piece of rocktail under him. And there we go. We'll use Death Swiftness. Alright. There we go. And yes, this is going to be a challenge at first, but after practice, you will get this boss. It honestly isn't that hard as soon as you get into it. It took me maybe 10 tries to figure out how to do it, and after that, I've gotten easily over 100 kills. So let's make sure you guys are following just what I'm doing. I'm trying to put it in the easiest context to understand what I'm doing, but sometimes it's not that easy. So let's make sure you guys are using your thresholds after all the minions are dead. If you get pulled in, just try to click away. I don't know what happened there. It didn't really work. But Phase 4 is probably going to be easier than Phase 3, in my opinion. It's not that hard. However, it is hard for some people. So we're going to pick it up right as soon as he dies. So here we go on to the last phase. Any second. And come on. Oh, he's gonna try clearing me. It's okay. He got. Okay, so what I do right here is I like to keep my adrenaline. So right as he puts me down, I like to use freedom. Use freedom right away, and use your counter and wait till that counter says 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Use escape, and you'll keep your adrenaline and build it. Now I like to go like this. And okay, now one of the harder parts about this boss and explaining it is you gotta do prayer swapping here. If you don't do prayer swapping, you're gonna be bound to die. So whenever he shoots like the green ones, that's magic. But if he shoots ones that are like that, like cocoons, it's protect from range. You don't gotta get them spot on all the time, but I do recommend trying to swap like this. I like to have like that. I brew, swap, like that. It's a good system, and it's really easy. I'm not going to go bother to stand in the light because I would be close to him then. I'm going to use an adrenaline potion, or not an adrenaline potion, an anti-poison now, because poison does add up over time, and it will hit you for a lot. Don't get cleaved, just click out of the way. And yeah, just make sure you guys are using your freedom and anticipate every so often. And make sure you're just using that. And I just got some lag right there. It's fine. It's not that bad. Just keep making sure that you're doing what I'm doing. Make sure you're keeping your hit points full. It's very important that you keep your hit points full once you get down to like the last 20k. It's very, very important around here. However, you can get comboed. I've gotten comboed plenty of times by Araxxor. Just keep your health full, and you should be okay. I still use brews by this point, but a lot of people don't. I like to keep my adrenaline high. So, oh, hold on, the little dark core standing underneath me. Don't let that dark core stand underneath you, otherwise it will rip you to pieces. It will do constant bleeds on you. For every 6 bounces it does, it will go back under you, so let it bounce 6 times. And then, so it'll bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it'll go on you. Let it hit you once for 1,000, 2,000, and you'll be fine. Alright guys, so that is how you kill a Araxxor with range on path 3. So let's see what we get. We get Rocktail and Dragonhide and Blue Charms. Not bad loot. So that's just a taste of the kind of loot that you can get. And how you leave is you just right click them, hit leave, and leave. So there you go guys. Hope that helped you guys get through this. I know I'm not going to show the other paths, but honestly they're not that hard. And the hardest path you got to deal with is the minions. So it's my recommendation just to wait till the minion side is closed, and you will be okay. So I wish you guys luck on getting kills, and maybe I will show how to do it with magic. Probably not, even though magic and range is pretty much the only way to do this boss. So good luck guys, good luck at Araxxor, and good luck getting your comp back. Peace.